Love, it makes the world go round. Love, it is the medicine. Love is a huge part of the work that I do. And love is at the center of today's episode. Welcome back, everybody, to the Be Her podcast. Or if you're here for the first time, I'm tickled pink that you are here and you have made it to an episode that is going to not only make you believe in love again, if disenchantment has come into body and blood, but it's also going to make love a verb. Today, I am met by a very special guest. We are here with Sonya, the founder of the Be Love movement. Welcome, Sonya.
Hi. I'm so excited to be here with you, Deb, and to talk about love.
And to talk about love. This episode has been in the works for a while because I've known Sonya for a few years now. I've known of the Be Love movement for a few years now. And I've known that I've also wanted to amplify Sonya, her story, and the Be Love movement. You could see me on the sidelines. I've got pom-poms in my hands, people. I am cheering for Sonya and the Be Love movement. And we've been through many chapters together as friends, as women who collaborate and work together. And this is a story that I cannot wait to give breath and birth to here in the Be Her podcast. So Sonya, welcome, 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 and bring the love. Before we get into your story and the story of the Be Love movement, we're going to go to where every guest goes as the first beat as a guest on the podcast. And that's about your relationship with your intuitive heroine within. So today, in this moment, share with us where you're at with your relationship.
First, I want to say thank you. Thank you for having me as a guest on your podcast. And yes, it's been a long time coming. I'm very excited about it. I feel very trusting. It's taken a long time, and I've done a lot of work and practice and trust, just slowing down, listening, and trusting myself, and know that my intuition is always guiding me for my highest good.
Yes. This is what I say about trust. You cannot buy it in a shop. You can't. You can't take your credit card out and say, I'm going to buy a few beats of trust, thanks. Like, it has to be developed over time. And trust is a huge part of the scaffolding, our inner scaffolding, I think, when it comes, particularly in intuition. I hear that a lot with women is like, I want to be able to trust it.
Yeah. Wow.
Was that your experience, Sonya, of like, I want to be able to trust myself and my intuition, but maybe actually I don't?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. From early on, I mean, I didn't realize that my intuition was actually guiding me, whether not right or wrong, but in a good way or a bad way. Like, I still remember my stomach hurting when I was doing things that were not in my highest good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just didn't connect that stomach
not,
hurting to a navigation from your intuition saying, no, not that way.
not at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not.
And I think, thank you for sharing that specific example, because I am sure there's women listening who are like, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And whether that's teenage you or whether that's you last week, everybody listening, no matter where you are at with your relationship with your intuitive heroine, you're in it. That's the most important thing, is to be in the relationship with intuitive you, with heroine you, and really remembering who you are and what you're here to do. And now, teeing up the story, my friends. So this is about Sonya and the Be Love movement. But this is also about trusting yourself, and also how hard that can be when maybe it doesn't feel like the world is on your side or cheering you on from the sidelines. And I know that this is true for so many women, that what they want to do doesn't seem to make sense, can't be put into the box. So suddenly it doesn't have value. So I'm just teeing it up in that way, everybody. We're now going to hear a story where love is at the center, but love had to go through a few chapters. So Sonya, take us now into the beginning of your story with the Be Love movement.
Yeah. Gosh, it was over a decade ago. And every time I walked out of my house where I happened to live, we were actually building a Trader Joe's. And that's how I remember it so specifically, because I would walk out every day and there was a sign painted in the car in this person's windshield. And it just said, Be Love, with some flowers. And so I smiled every day. I just walked out the door and I was like, wow, how creative are you? How lovely to see Be Love every morning. That's also when a friend of mine told me for the very first time I ever heard, she's like, you just love love. Like, no matter what form it is, you just love love.
Mm. What was it like when your friend said that to you, when that was reflected back to you, like an essence of who you are?
I felt, I can feel it now, like giddy about it, having somebody recognize that.
Mm.
And I know it's true. And that is specifically at that time. Like I knew that about myself, that I was finding hearts in everything. I was finding hearts in food. We'd be in the river and I would just walk down a little creek and I'd be pulling out heart rocks for everybody. Like it was just the way I was living at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're inspired by Be Love in a random person's car in the
Random person.
building of a Trader Joe's. And then what happened?
Yeah. At the time, my life was very festival driven, music. I worked at a yoga studio that is very grassroots, and our whole mission is to be accessible to everybody. So another form of love. And I was like, I'm going to make a sticker. And I presented it to my friend who's a graphic designer. And he's like, I'll do that for you, but you're going to have to paint it. And I was like, what? I don't know. I don't do that. But I challenged myself and I did it. The first original Be Love sticker was purple with bright green and it had swirls all around it. Like I probably still have, I do have some somewhere because I went looking for them recently. And I started passing them out. Like I brought them to the yoga studio. I put them on our counter and people were taking them. And I was like, no, please take two because I would love for you to share it. Like the whole idea was just continue just to spread love.
And so
And
it starts with a sticker, and then you make the stickers. Then you start passing the stickers around. At this point, it's not a movement.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
So this is about a decade ago. It's stickers, sharing love. But how does this I just want to highlight for everyone, notice the moment it begins. It's not like I had this big, amazing download in a meditation and then my mission was given to me. It's seemingly random. It's something in somebody else's car that you see again and again and again and appreciate. Then somebody in your life reflects it back to you, and then you decide to take it a step further in stickers, and then you invite others to take it a step further in take two, one for you and to pass it on.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to note that because I think sometimes we believe it has to be this big lightning bolt moment and we're going to find our purpose.
Yeah.
But for you in this moment, as you're passing out stickers, did it feel like any lights were going off or you were getting lightning bolts or like just
Not
take
at
us
all.
into what did it feel like then?
It just felt fun.
Mm.
Really, it just felt fun and it felt like spreading more joy and love in the world. And that was the only mission or intention I had with it. I just want people to be surrounded with love and to know their love. That was always my hope, is like I'm not just giving you the sticker, be love, like you are love.
Oh. And what kind of responses were you getting from people?
People loved it. I was really blown away. I really just didn't think it would have so much of an impact. Somebody was making art with the stickers.
Mm.
I wish I had pictures. I don't, but I just was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So then is that when you started to feel, I've started something?
Yes, because people, I started getting gifted things. Like one day a friend walks in and we're like, well, it should be called Be Love should have a website. And I was like, what? Why? So then a friend came in one time, bought me the domain to Be Love Movement because Be Love was taken and we were at this yoga studios teaching yoga and putting on events. And then another friend came in one day and he's like, I built you a website. And I was like, what is happening? Like everybody else was believing that this was to be more.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, there's these people on the sidelines seeing what's happening, wanting to amplify and support that. But what's happening inside you? Because it wasn't you who stepped forward and said, there's a website, we're buying the domain. Had you been thinking about that, or were you holding back, or you hadn't seen the vision yet?
I hadn't seen the vision yet. I I hadn't seen it until maybe a year or so later. And I was leaving the yoga studio and I was listening to my intuition. I didn't know what I was going to be doing. I just knew it was time for me to go. I'd learned what I'd learned in that place. I still go to that yoga studio. It's still my home. And I was like, oh, Be Love Movement. I've got this.
Mm.
And it was yoga. Like at that point, I was like, I'll just be teaching yoga and teaching at events. This is what Be Love Movement will be.
Mm. So it started as yoga, stickers and yoga.
Stickers, yoga, and then it grew into mala beads. All not planned. It just started happening.
Yeah. And what's happening inside you as it starts to happen?
I I loved it. I mean, I loved making the jewelry. Like that became not just a creative outlet, but a loving one. I would just start making them for friends as gifts and I sitting there with intention. I was very intentional about everything. Like even if I'm sick, I will not touch anything to make a mala bead, to make a bracelet or a necklace. I want to be in the right space to be making them.
Yeah.
That's how
So
it all.
so it's all organically starting with stickers and then the website, and now you're making the mala beads. For those who don't know, mala beads are the beads that you will see people wearing, and you count each bead as either a mindfulness or a meditative practice. They have 108 beads, right, Sonia?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's, people use them in different ways, but a lot of it is for mindfulness, breath, intention. So there is this intention of creation
Hmm.
inside the Be Love movement. And this is less than a decade ago now.
Hmm.
So did it suddenly take off, or what happened next?
I buried it.
Mm.
I Yeah, gosh, that makes me emotional. I think I buried it mostly. 2020 hit and we all had to do whatever we could to get through that. And Be Love movement fell to the wayside. I began to think it was really silly and wouldn't go anywhere. And people were like, how are you going to make money off of this? And my answer was like, oh, I started listening to other people and
Yeah.
not myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And just taking a beat here with you, for everybody who has been with a dream for a while, and maybe you've also buried it, or maybe other people in your life told you it didn't make sense, or it wasn't going to make money, or not worth investing your time in, because let's call the writing on the wall. This happens when other people don't really understand, when they're not in the heart of what you're doing. And sometimes they're doing it to try and protect us. Sometimes they're just not understanding. But Sonya, we can take it to heart.
Yeah. Oh, I did.
Yeah. And in whatever way feels safe and powerful for you, can you take us into what does that feel like as you start to bury the Be Love movement, when making the beads was so joyful, giving out the stickers was such fun, when it all just naturally started to kind of birth and blossom? And then in this point of the story, it's buried. Like I'm feeling sadness now.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
thinking about it. I wasn't even there. You know, we didn't even meet in COVID. Sonia and I met after this part of the story. So
Mhm.
I've never actually heard you say I buried it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've got my hand on my heart, like I'm feeling it.
I can feel it. I'm
Yeah.
not sure I've ever said buried before, but that's what happened.
Yeah. Can you just, in whatever way feels safer and powerful,
Mhm.
just why did you bury it? How did you bury it? What did it feel like?
Mhm. I I started well, I also became an entrepreneur in this all right before COVID, and then as it started to come into it, I actually had a wedding planning business. It was called Be Love Weddings.
Mm.
And again, I was still weird about the name. I was like, this feels woo. People aren't going to take me seriously. And then as I was moving into being an entrepreneur, that I really took Be Love away because I was like, no one's going to take me seriously.
And where did that come from? Is that from someone else's mouth? Is that from a belief of yours, a mixture?
It's a mixture. It definitely is a mixture. I mean, I didn't grow up in a way that you could be grounded in your woo and be magical and sparkly and full of love and be grounded and walk in the world that way.
Mm,
I didn't learn that until I was older.
yeah.
And
And did you learn that that didn't have value?
yeah, I did. And part of it is I live in an area where there's a lot of woo, a lot of people not taken serious, and it's
Uh,
not necessarily like an abundant vibe. So it's real easy to fall in step with that.
yeah. That group think, like what the
Yeah.
community is thinking. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. We're wired for connection. So if we're going to choose between authenticity and connection, we're going to choose the connection. You know what's
Mhm.
so interesting about this part of the story is in the beginning, everyone was so excited for you, wanting to pass the stickers around, wanting support with the website. And did you still have those people in your life excited for you, or did that energy turn when people realized you wanted to make a business of it or put more energy into it?
I think it was a both and. If I'm being honest about it to myself, everybody's been waiting for Be Love movement to come to the forefront.
Mm,
I yeah, I can feel that as I'm talking to people and like just as a as we've become friends, like you're the one person that I like when I read your book and I was like, oh, there's heart-centered people in the world. I can live this way. And
mm,
that's when everything started to shift for me because knew I was trying to run a business in the way you should run a business. And it never worked for me.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I can say, as someone who is heart centered, heart led, in the woo, as well as being grounded in, we've got to be reality, we've got to make it real on earth. I'm a yes and. It also took me a long time to really own who I was and what I was here to do. And, you know, before my grief journey, I thought love was this sickly, sweet thing everyone put on top, the happy ending. I was like, no, there's more to it than that.
Mhm.
It took a lot of surrender for me to actually understand that love is the medicine, love is our connective tissue. So I can understand the the inner workings of that for you. Can you
Mhm.
just take us now to you have other people waiting for the Be Love movement to start to take off. They're still in the wings, supporting, wanting this for you, can see the possibility and potential of it, but you can't. You're in a process of burying.
Mhm.
Take us a little bit deeper into that landscape.
Af- After quite a few years of doing everything according to somebody else, it started to feel bad. I
Mm,
didn't feel myself.
mm,
And I was like, I don't feel that like sparkly fairy, let me run around and play energy. And that's always how I've been. Like I'm very playful and young spirited. And I was like, where did that go?
yeah,
And
yeah.
that was when I was like, I'm not being honest with myself. I'm very passionate about the Be Love movement. I'm very passionate about spreading more joy and love in the world.
Mm.
It still wasn't making sense, but I knew.
How did you know?
I've started to feel more alive. Like I was like, oh, like waking up. I was slowly waking
Mm.
up. I also started spending a heck of a lot of time in the woods by myself, which was a big fear of mine I overcame. And that's where like the slow things started to download too. Like I'd start hearing things or I'd start having ideas. I was like, okay, I hear you. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I got it. Yeah.
So you know what I'm seeing now as you're speaking? It's like it wasn't the Be Love movement that was buried. It was you.
Mm,
You buried under entrepreneurship means this, making money means this, I have to be serious, woo means I won't be taken serious. Like all of these shoulds and the boxes of the world that we put ourselves in, all on top of you,
yeah.
sparked also in part by a global pandemic,
Yeah.
which twisted us all in different ways. And then you started to come back to self. And I can see now, like I'm seeing this almost like watching a movie, Sonia. It's really interesting. This is what you can do when your intuition's on fire. It gives you movies. Like my clairvoyance at the moment is showing like you kind of like an arm coming up first and then an elbow and like all the things that you'd put on top of you and the Be Love movement, just starting to reach out and spread your wings and put them to the side. Is that what it felt like? Or is Deb making up movies in my mind?
No, that is what it felt like. And I had people in my corner, Miss Deb, cheering, like really seeing me and cheering me on. And that was a game changer. Like I understand it comes from within and also having the reflections from people that you love and respect and you know have your highest good, like they're watching out for you. It was that was also part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It's true. We need to see it in ourselves. We need to trust it in ourselves. And also, we're not solo beings. It goes back to that connection.
Mhm.
And when we're reinforced and amplified by others, it really helps us see who we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like before I stepped into my leadership, it was the same for me, Sonia. I would have women saying to me, the level of work that you're doing, like you need to be thinking higher and bigger. You need to be
Mm,
charging more. You need to be out there. And I didn't feel that way at first. It was reflected back to me from other women in my life. And I had to hear it again and again before I started to believe it.
yeah.
Yeah. And then you build the muscle of that. So tell us now, like you're out from under the buried of shoulds, like you start to spread your wings. And I say wings, everybody, because like for real, since I met Sonia, she is a fairy. Full stop. Sonya is many, many, many things, an amazing heroine, obviously a woman who's guided by intuition and love. But if you have the luck of being able to meet Sonya, you will agree with me, this woman is a fairy. And so when I say spread your wings, I'm talking seriously. You got wings, honey. So when it starts to spread the wings of the Be Love movement and you, what did that feel like?
Open, like even watching him, like I always say, oh, I feel open again. I
Yeah,
feel excited. And
yeah.
now, and I found my voice in it too. Like, I think there was always that shyness, and you said it already, like love thinking it's like this little sweet thing with cherry on top. And I'm like, but that's not really what I mean. Like, it's the energy of love.
Mm,
And that can mean anything. And
mm.
beauty all around. It's nature, it's wildlife, it's the flowers, it's the people, it's everything.
It's everything.
It's
It
everything.
really is. And like going back to what I said before, I really didn't believe that that was the full stop. But
Hmm.
I do believe we are here to learn about love.
Yeah.
That's
Ooh,
that's our
I've got
that's the
chills. Yeah.
lesson.
That's
Comes
it.
out in lots of different ways. But now, Sonia, I'm going to invite you to do this for our audience, because if you're here with us, you can see this unfolding of given a dream, given a vision, being chosen to share something in the world, and then it's not always easy. There's a decade of building it and loving it and feeling power and purpose in it. And then there's also the times when it's buried, it's not believed in. We lose trust that this was given to me for a reason. And I think, Sonia, there's going to be parallels in people's lives, whether it's the book they wanted to write or what they wanted to start to share with the world or the way they wanted to paint or create. Like, I think there's so many ways that either the world or ourselves stop us from investing not only in our dreams, but also what we're here to do, because it doesn't always make sense on paper.
Hmm.
But what I want to invite you right now, Sonia, take a big deep breath, and I want you to, straight down the barrel, share with us the Be Love movement today. What does the Be Love movement and you stand for? What impact are you creating? And where is the Be Love movement going?
Yeah. The whole mission is to spread more joy and love in the world. That, and I hope at the smallest thing, it's a sticker. And again, buy stickers, share them with your friend. If you see me somewhere, I might be handing you 2, 3, 4, who knows? Um, and I hope it expands into really being a movement and supporting young women to use their voices and to stand in their power and know that they are love. I want it for the whole world. I have a specific heart pull towards young women. And some of it's because of the way that I've walked in the world with the lack of confidence and the lack of self-worth and not feeling enough. And I would take that from anybody if I could. And
Mm,
that's what I want it to be, is that people just know that they are love and they are enough.
yeah. Yes, everybody take that
Yes.
in, because Sonia, the fairy, the founder of the Be Love movement, just told you, you are love. So be love, because that's what the world needs right now. Absolutely. I'm just going to give a little plug here from my mouth. Be Love is stickers and t-shirts and mala beads and a mission. You can literally go to the shop and buy any of those things. Links coming. But I also want to say, Be Love is also supporting other entrepreneurs in the world. In particular, Be Love supports heart-driven businesses to have their systems in place and working to a nice, beautiful hum, so those heart-led leaders can get busy with their own mission. And I can say this from the inside out, because Be Love Business Solutions supports the Be Her Collective. All that happens in the background, Sonya and her team manage, so I can focus on my mission of inspiring and engaging intuitive heroines. So it is growing in so many beautiful ways and supporting young women, heart-led entrepreneurs and leaders. And Sonya, I can feel it now. It's really starting to support you
Yeah.
being who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let us know, how can people connect with the Be Love movement?
You can find me at belovemovement.com. You can also find me on Instagram. Be Love Movement is fully on Instagram, and that is at be_love_Sonya.
Yes. Those links are going to be in the show notes. So go there, click now. Be Love is, you just mark my words, my friends. Be Love over the next decade is going to exponentially expand and spread its wings. And Sonya, I want to thank you for honestly and in the river of emotion, sharing the real story of what it's like to hold a movement for a decade, and a movement that must first move through you before it can move through the world. Thank you for everything that you are doing for love, for women like me in businesses that feel too big for us, but our missions are so important to us, and especially for the young women who are going to be privileged to meet themselves and to meet love within themselves as they work with you and Be Love. What an absolute honor. Oh, I'm feeling all loved up, up. I'm feeling it. Now,
Thank you.
we're going to finish in the way that all guests complete every episode. The Be Her Collective is on a mission to inspire and engage 1 million intuitive heroines worldwide. When this is achieved, what do you believe, Sonya, that is going to change for women and the world?
I truly believe there will be more love, kindness, compassion, and joy.
Yes, and we all want more of that. We all need more of that now. This is the new era where we as women are seeding this right now. Love, joy, compassion, and for us to feel like what is given to us is ours to give away, and that we can be exactly who we are, whether we are a heroine, a fairy, a witch, or a queen, whoever you choose to be today. Add some more love, because you're love. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sonya. Let's go on out there and share the love. See you in the next episode. Blessings to Sonya and the Be Love movement.
Thanks, Deb.